Hello.
We're back again.
Fourth time's the charm.
Yeah. Watch me have.
Technically fifth, because we did a episode
Oh, that's right.
strictly about the two pilots.
I have so much shit to edit.
But it's okay. It's fine.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
It's our party, we can do what we want to. It's our party, we can watch what we want to. It's our fandom, we can ship who we want to. It's my life, I can stalk who I want to. Say yeah.
Well,
Because we are officially in the film franchise.
thank God. And we started off with, of course, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, because they couldn't come up with another title.
Or-
but they need you to know it's a movie this time.
Or, if you're me, you look at it as a very long, very drawn out episode of the show. Because that is what
Oh
it
my
felt
God,
like.
Yeah.
And
It's
that
like
is not...
third pilot.
That's
in a
it's like
way.
a third pilot, and and technically, fun fact, that's exactly what it was. Because originally, this was meant to be an additional show, because the show had obviously been canceled 10 years prior in
Yeah.
1969, I believe, or I should say 68, 69, 68, around that time.
Yeah.
And originally, Gene Roddenberry had decided that he wanted it back. The people wanted it back. We're not going to deny that this was unwanted. It was, and they were working on another pilot, another series to continue it,
Yeah.
with some of the cast members choosing or not choosing to come back. And then a little movie was released called Star Wars
I
in
don't know if you-
1977.
I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's like a bunch of stars in the sky, and they end up going off to war. It's like really sad, actually, when you
think you're very clever, don't you?
think about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like
crazy.
nothing happens in it. And like I don't know anybody that
Yeah.
would be a fan of that
I don't think
anyway.
it-
Like
Actually, I didn't really hear much about it.
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny? Seriously.
but
Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry heard about it,
Yeah.
and he got hurt in the inside, and he realized that he didn't think a TV show was going to cut it anymore because Star Wars happened to make a lot of money, so
It did?
it made
You're not funny and nobody likes you.
so much money, despite the fact that my parents walked out during their date night.
Wait, shut up. Did they really?
Yes, after getting married, my parents went to go see Star Wars for their first official date as a married couple.
Oh.
And they walked out the theater because they just didn't like sci-fi.
That's
That
a
was not their
mood.
thing.
Honestly, that is a mood, if not anything.
Yep.
That is funny.
But Gene decided they needed to rework it, so they wrote a script and they contacted everybody. And some people didn't want to come back.
Gee, I wonder who that was.
Believe it or not, it was Mr. Spock himself. Originally turned down the option. Would you like to know why?
What? Yes, please tell me.
So, as you can believe, Star Trek had a few toy lines and had a few, likeliness of certain characters that certain other actors were given a portion of the profits to. Leonard Nimoy was not one of these people, and he
So
took
messed
it
up.
personally.
I mean,
So he decided that he was done playing Spock. He didn't want to do it anymore because he felt like he was hurt. He felt disrespected.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't worth it. And Gene Roddenberry, as well as several other execs, realized you can't have Star Trek, at least the original Star Trek, without Mr. Spock.
Yes.
So they sent Jeff Kratzenberg, who you may know from The Incredibles, Pixar, and such. They sent him to New York City, and he handed Leonard Nimoy a check of all the back pay he would be owed. And then he proceeded to get onto his knees in the New York City street and beg him to be in the movie.
As one should.
So begging you.
And Leonard, of course, after that, agreed after going through several rewrites of the script because he wasn't very happy with what they were doing with Spock, because, again, Spock was not in the original script. So they had to kind of fit him in, which still barely...
I was about to say, did they though?
Well,
Did
it was
they?
also very known by DeForest Kelley. He, Shatner, and Nimoy really got together and were like, hey, we really don't like what you're doing with these actors, and pretty much everybody ignored them. However, George Takei was quoted to say that when script changes were allowed, they leaned favorably in Bill's corner compared to anybody else's. And it seems that while the entire cast returned, so you got to see the main three boys, and then you got to see Scotty, Ahura, Chekhov, Sulu, and everybody. You got to see them all again. Nobody was really happy to be back.
Did you get emotional when you put the wardrobe on?
No, I got paid.
The only person that was probably the most okay with the changes was Nichelle, who played Ahura, though she was very upset with the costume changes because everybody is wearing a unisex outfit, which like shirt, pants situation, and she just said that was not Ahura. Ahura was she wore makeup, she wore jewelry, she wore dresses, she wore high-length boots. She was a girly girl, and she didn't get to be that.
Yeah, like she's very feminine, but can get the job done because obviously women can do both things.
Yeah.
So it is kind of disappointing that they just had her wear that outfit.
The actor who plays Scotty was pretty happy with returning. I kept calling him Mr. Belvedere.
He had a mustache, and she thought it was the guy from Mr. Belvedere.
Trying to watch Mr. Belvedere.
So I was thinking we could...
Streaks on the china! Never mattered before! Who cared? When you drop kick your jacket? When you came through the door? No one glared!
And then the lovely actor that plays Chekhov, he was fine with it, but he was also kind of sad with how much they diminished his character.
Yeah.
Overall, though, very happy to see the original cast and characters. I say this with every bone of my body. I love these characters. I love them so much. And I was also very excited to see some new characters. Maybe not the actors who played them, but we got to see some new characters.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our warning.
Yeah,
we'll put a trigger warning up.
Yeah.
The actor Stephen Collins, who some younger, or not really younger, some older fans may know him as the father from Seventh Heaven, and he was also in
First Wives Club.
And then what else? Oh, he was in Drive Me Crazy. He played her dad in that.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Very famous, like 90s, early 2000s TV actor.
Yeah.
Very well loved. He is not a good person.
Nope.
We're not going to go into it, but let's just say he got his comeuppance.
Yep.
And we were very sad to learn that even prior to getting this role, he was doing these bad things.
Yeah.
And it was like a well-known secret in Hollywood. But unfortunately, he was very handsome and he could act, so he got away with it.
Of course. But yeah, that's all we're going to say
But
about
he
it.
played Commander Decker, and originally it was Captain Decker, because for those who do not know, the plot of this is that it takes several years into the future.
There's a plot.
It took a little bit of time to get the... But the plot of this is that there's a space anomaly going on in space, and several ships that have tried to see what the heck is going on have been destroyed, including 3 Klingon ships, and Starfleet has decided that they really want to figure out what the hell is going on, because this is not normal. Like, the Klingons should not be this easily destroyed.
Yeah.
And the Enterprise, which is now being run by Commander Decker, Captain Decker's team, and they decide that for this type of trip, they need to bring in the big guns. So they bring in Admiral Jim Kirk. He has moved up in the room. He's no longer captain. He is now the admiral.
Hell yeah!
But he has not been on the Enterprise in some time, and the ship has been through some refits. Refits he may not like, but refits regardless.
Yep. And when he shows up, the other guy is
Decker.
Decker is not happy to see him.
I understand. Like,
He's
it's
this is my job.
And he's straight like, you have not been on this ship. You are not familiar with the changes of this ship. He's like, it's still my ship. It's still my Silver Lady.
That's literally...
We get it. Your job is your wife, buddy.
Captain Kirk, your William Shatner is showing.
It's showing so hard.
Seriously.
But of course, so there are still some people on the ship. So you still have Scotty, you still have Sulu and Ahura and Chekhov. They're all still there, but that's not who he needs. So who does he beam up?
My man, Bones!
Bones is beamed up from Georgia in a jumpsuit with a beard, and he has a medallion.
Talking about chest, talking about crazy cool medallion.
And he has the best line in the entire movie.
I was drafted.
Because they couldn't get anybody else, and then Jim was just like, no, Bones, I requested you here, which is gonna make it better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? I'd rather be drafted.
I would rather be drafted
than you requesting me.
Now, of course, with the gang back together, we're missing somebody, but somebody. After getting some money, his character was a little bit busy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to butcher these words. One day I will be able to fully pronounce the things that I read in fanfic, but Spock had been going through a Vulcan transformation, more or less, that was going to rid him of all emotion, which is great, because if you know anything about Spock, is that despite saying that he is very Vulcan and he has no emotions, cries more than I do. Every season, that man is shedding tears, he is smiling, so I understand why he would want to get rid of it all.
Honestly, if
But
I
it doesn't
could,
work.
I would too.
But it doesn't work. There's something holding him back. Something was not allowing him to do that. And first of all, amazing hair. He had long hair. I wish he kept it, but he didn't get to keep it.
I'm in love with an emo girl.
Yes. But they didn't call him back because he's officially retired. He's off on Vulcan. He's doing his own thing. So they have a different Vulcan science officer who unfortunately does not last very long due to the anomaly and through the changes that are going on to the Enterprise while beaming up two of their, I don't say associates, not the right word, two of their officers.
Yeah.
They unfortunately do not make it back, and their science officer dies during the beam up. So of course Kirk requests that he wants another science officer, particularly a Vulcan, which is never explained because there are other science officers that are not Vulcan. I generally just think he wanted to have somebody similar to.
He wanted someone as close to Spock as he could possibly get.
Well, of course, there's only one available Vulcan science officer who shows up in a motherfucking cape. Angry as hell.
He is so mad. This is the most emotion I think we've seen.
Literally.
And I don't know if that was intended or not. Maybe that was just Spock. No, I mean, maybe that was just Leonard Nimoy just so annoyed.
That was just Leonard Nimoy having to come back to this shit.
Letting you know, both the cast and the audience, I don't want to fucking be here right now.
And Jim is so excited to see him, and even everybody's on the bridge, and Bones is just like, Mr. Spock, even I'm happy to see you. He was so happy, and he's just like, move.
Yeah,
and goes to the science corner, and he just starts working automatically out of uniform. And then they have a little chit chat in Kirk's office, and Spock tries to explain what he was doing and why it wouldn't work. And Bones is just like, I'm so happy to be back. His beard is gone. He's clean cut. He's in his uniform, and he's like, I'm so happy that we have to do this all over again. Oh no, you didn't get to lose your emotional virginity.
Oh wah.
Wah.
Listen, we're all here. We're all miserable. Let's just do the damn thing. You know what I mean?
We need to be brisk with this. Let's just do it.
Which I feel
and they tried.
I feel like that's just the movie in a nutshell.
And that's pretty much what it is. There's also another character, Lilia. She is, again, not very bright, so I do not pick up on different species, but she is an alien of sorts, and she also has a past with the character of Decker. It's very clear that they had previously been together. Clearly, they had a breakup that didn't end very well.
Yeah.
But now that they are working together, there's a possibility. Just kidding. She gets kidnapped, and she is replaced with an android version of her that has her memories of sorts.
Yes.
And they use her to be able to track where the anomaly is going. And you find out as we continue on, because stuff happens. But not enough stuff.
You clearly know more about this movie than I do.
I thought about it.
I watched the damn thing.
About it.
I was just like, is anything happening? The visuals are great.
One thing happened, and I need to get closer. I need to get closer to talk about this. So Spock takes a spacewalk out to get closer to the anomaly and gets his ass handed to him. That's just what happens. And I want to make it very known. We're only in the first movie. We haven't watched anything else. And I know that I shit talk Strange New Worlds a lot for kind of backtracking on Vulcan culture, but I've read a lot of Vulcan culture in and out of fanfiction. And it's very clear that their hands are extremely sensitive, and they don't touch a lot of people with their hands because they are touch telepaths. Without a blink of an eye, he takes Kirk's hand.
Yeah.
And Kirk holds his hand in both of his.
Yeah.
And he explains that this is what they're looking for. And Bones is there because my man is forever third wheeling.
Yeah, which is really funny because last time I checked, that's not how thruples work.
They forget about him always.
That's like my biggest
Always.
fear. No, you don't understand. I want to be like, part of me wants to be in a throuple, but knowing my luck, I'd be the odd one out, and everyone
You'd
would
be the cuck in the situation. I'm sorry.
Stop! No.
Sorry.
He dumped my ass, Grandma. We had a three-way and he liked her better. He opened the relationship to her and closed it to me.
Oh. Sorry. Continue.
But they, as they continue to work towards it, they realize that it's a living organism in space.
Yes.
Similar to the way that they describe it as a child. And I kept thinking of like Space Odyssey, like 2000's The Space Odyssey, that type of situation. I don't know if I'm correct or not.
2001.
2000. I'm so sorry. I got the year.
Oh God, I just pulled a film, bro. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It happens. But they get closer and they realize that the creation that they've been calling Verger, it's actually, when they finally land and they're able to see it, it's actually from Voyager.
Yeah.
I believe Voyager 6, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And it's from, like, our era. Like, it's from the 2000s and plus, if I believe. It was supposed to be 300 years ago, so I'm going to guess early 2000s.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And they got lost through a black hole, and none of them exist any longer, but they are now this sentient being, and all they want is to have some form of consciousness. So the only way they're able to do that is to more or less take the energy of another being. And they already have Lilia.
Yes.
Or Ilya, if I'm mispronouncing her name, I do apologize. They already have her, but they need more than that. So they're looking around. They got three options here because, again, Bones goes with them everywhere. So they got Bones, they got Kirk, they got Spock. But that's not enough. So Decker sacrifices himself because then he can officially be with the woman that he clearly loves.
Yes.
And they are beamed up and they become a new creation.
That was actually kind of a really beautiful scene.
It was a very beautiful scene. Again, this series has beautiful cinematography.
Oh,
it's a beautiful film. It's just that
really
there are many things that they could have cut from it. Similar to some of the episodes, there's a lot of things they could have cut from it.
Oh, absolutely. This movie's runtime is like 2 hours and like 16 something minutes. The first 5 minutes is an instrumental overture with stars on the screen. And the opening credits aren't even playing yet. So they could have cut that easily.
They could have, but they didn't.
No, but they didn't. Because they were just like, we want you to know, this isn't just a motion picture. It's an experience.
The Star Trek experience.
Exactly. And I'm just like, okay, go off, sis.
Bones also makes a really funny a quote where he's just like, well, it's been a while since I, like, helped with a birth or something like that. Oh, Bones. Oh, Bones.
Why didn't he get his own, like, spin-off thing?
I feel like they just hate him. DeForest Kelly, we love you.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
You deserve so much better than what you were given.
Anyway, it's successful. The anomaly disappears, and with Decker gone, now the Enterprise needs a captain again.
Gee,
I wonder who's gonna take over. And it beams up, and I also realize, and I'll bring this up when we get to the other movies, it kind of ends the same way that the 2009 movie ends, where it ends with like him sitting back in the chair, and he's just like, I forget what line he said, but they like shoot off. And I'm like, oh, so J.J. Abrams is not creative. Overall, I do have to say some of the changes is very nice. not Leonard Nimoy, I'm so sorry. We know about Leonard Nimoy, but William Shatner made a quote when he talked about coming back and saying that, like, when you play a character, you are not only playing them, but you're bringing like a personality to them.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that with DeForest and with Leonard, it's been such a long time that they've matured as people, so the characters would have matured as people. And I definitely see that. Like, it's very clear that even though they're all supposed to be in their mid-30s, it doesn't matter. Like, 31-year-old Emily is more mature than 30-year-old Emily. And I'm sure 36-year-old William Shatner is more mature than 35-year-old William Shatner. Yeah. So it was very cool to see them as adults, even though they were clearly adults in the beginning, but they were also very immature. You saw them. He didn't have a girlfriend this time. They didn't have one. No, they gave it to somebody else because he's not young.
That's
and
why the
handsome
movie
anymore.
didn't do well.
That's why.
That's why, because he wasn't making out with somebody.
Yeah, they didn't give him that chance.
Nope. Spock was right there.
He was
Bones
right there.
was right there.
They were all right there. But it was very fun. It's also really exciting to like see that these characters like trying to get back into like the way of things because you have, and you got to see the other characters. I almost forgot. You got to see Janice Rand, who we hadn't seen since I want to say season 1 of the show.
She was only in 8
back.
episodes of the first season. So when I found out that she was gonna be in the movie, I was very happy.
She was back.
Her.
The actress who played Christine Chapel was back. She's now a doctor
and a brunette now,
just like she was in the last episode of the show. There was also another. Bones just keeps hitting with the funny jokes. Where
seriously.
when he's talking about that if he's back, he wants to have a nurse, and he's just like, and I don't want somebody that's like gonna contradict everything I say. And they get him Dr. Chapel, which is so funny.
Yes,
because if anybody's going to, it's going to be
her. I love that.
They did not have anything lingering between her and Spock this time. I guess maybe Gene was done with that shit.
Yeah, maybe he was like, you know what?
Stop trying to kiss my wife, Leonard.
Exactly, and he's like, babe, I know you have a crush on Leonard, and it was cute for a while, but now I'm taking it personal, so I'm shutting it down.
In her defense, first of all, she's the first lady of Star Trek. She's involved in every single iteration because they also lent her voice to the ship, which is awesome. But I would say if my husband, who they are clearly in love, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, she was probably sleeping around. No, they loved each other so much. Her and Gene Roddenberry, it's kind of disgusting how much they love each other. Like he literally called her up once when he was in Japan and proposed because he's like, I got off the plane and realized you were not here, and he's in Japan, and he was so unhappy because she was not with him. Like they are clearly in love. But like if my husband was like creating a show and I was going to be in it even for like a moment, if he's just like, hey, your character has to kiss somebody, you know damn well I'm picking the most handsome one, and it is not going to be William Shatner.
Dude, imagine like I have a boyfriend, he's like a world-round director, and he's just like, hey, Ellen, I need you in this movie, babe. You got to make out with Bill Hader. I'd be like, oh,
I'm going to take one for the team.
I guess I'll do what I have to do for you, baby.
Do what we gotta do for the plot.
Exactly, and for my husband, of course.
Anything you want.
Yeah, like, you know. Exactly, good for her.
The uniforms were also really nice. I thought they were very attractive. I thought they were very handsome. Spock will never beat that one black outfit he wore with the cape when he came out. That changed lives. It changed my life.
I just love Bones' medallion.
It was his outfit that looked like he just like left the disco.
We were like, is he a BG now? Like,
he literally looked like a 4th BG.
No, for real though.
Or I guess technically like a 5th BG.
Oh yeah, because like Andy Gibb, he's like not.
He looked
a BG,
like an extra Gibb.
He looks like Bones Gibb.
Bones Gibb. Leonard Gibb.
Yeah.
Or he also looked like he auditioned to be in the Manson family. A little bit.
Why would you do that to me?
Because it's true. But he looked good. Everybody, it was wonderful to see everybody again. I look forward to the next ones. The next one is going to be Wrath of Khan, and I've heard nothing but amazing things for that.
Yeah, everyone raves about it. I first heard about it from I Love the 80s. So I'm really excited.
I've seen many a meme. For those who have seen Deadpool and Wolverine, they do the Tahal, and they have like the Spock moment when they're behind the doors.
They did. You and I lost it.
I was screaming. We're like, Spock!
We were like,
they done the thing!
So I'm very excited about this movie.
I'm very excited. I think it's going to be good.
Khan looking real good in this.
I cannot wait to talk about that. For those who grew up with taste, that's Grandpa in the Spy Kids fandom.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
Yeah, that's it. He plays Grandpa.
Call him that.
He's Grandpa. Like that's his character. He's their grandfather.
Okay.
He's in a wheelchair. His arch enemy is freaking Sylvester Stallone. It is. Sylvester Stallone plays the enemy in Spy Kids 3, 3D with the video games.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting that movie had a stacked cast.
Everything. Robert Ramirez, man, he knows what's up.
We might have to cover those movies one day.
We will definitely do the Spy Kids fandom.
But we're only doing the first 3, right?
I feel like yes. I mean, if we end up wanting to do the 4th one, just because we're gonna branch off for a quick second, but when it comes to the 4th one, it's very much the new age where clearly like Junie and Carmen grew up and everything, but it also does like talk about famiglia.
If it doesn't have the actors that I want, no.
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 How did you feel about the movie overall?
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but that's because I'm stupid. And it was just visually stunning. Music, fantastic. Great to see everybody back, whether they liked to be back or not. But the whole time I was like, what's going on? What's happening? Why is the same thing happening for like 10 minutes?
I had to look up the
Speed
plot.
it
I
up.
did. I'm very sorry. And again, we've talked about this many times. We are very character driven. There's a reason why we are fangirls is because we latch on to certain aspects.
Yes.
And we latch on to the characters and we love them, but the plots go over our heads sometimes. We're not the brightest. We've accepted this.
Exactly.
We're okay with it.
Yeah.
But I had to look up the plot. And I literally texted him, like, once I understood what the hell was supposed to be going on, I realized, oh, this movie wasn't actually bad. They just didn't explain it well enough. The best way to explain this is that this movie was made for people that have watched the show. If you did not watch the show, you would not
100%.
understand, which is fine. I understand it. The problem is we had watched the show,
and we
were
still
still
like,
confused. So I can only imagine the poor people that hadn't watched it. We watched it. We ended the last episode and then jumped right into the movie. We were fresh on beat with it.
Yeah,
Imagine the poor people that hadn't seen it in 10 years.
Oh my god. And they're probably on cocaine. They probably just got out of the disco, didn't want to go home yet, needed to wind down, and they thought, "Oh, this looks fun." And they're probably like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Did you have a favorite part?
This is gonna sound terrible, but every time Decker came on screen, just because you and I would be like, "Get the fuck away." Because of what the actor did. I'm sorry. But...
The entire and it's so funny because the mother in Seventh Heaven, she is, I believe, in the final movie. If not the final movie, then like the fifth one. She's in one of the later movies. And we're like, damn, they got both of them. And then it like hit me like a rock to the head where I was like, oh no, he bad, man. He bad. He no good.
Yeah. Our faces when he showed up on screen. It was like we were watching like a genuine horror movie. We had no idea. Oh, no, but on a serious note, my favorite parts were definitely one of them was of course Spock holding Kirk's hand.
That was good. It was
really
also a very good scene. We've seen that a lot in some fan made videos, so context was wonderful.
Also, there was this one scene where Scotty is like showing Kirk around, and it's like, I mean, the scene is a little long, but just seeing the two of them together and like all happy, that was nice. Obviously, Bones, just whenever he's on screen, I'm immediately in a better mood.
Yeah. There was a scene when they realized that they were they were in over the heads of what they were going to be dealing with, and they kind of realized that there's this sentient being that they may have to destroy that they don't fully understand. And they look over and what do you know? Spock is crying again. And Kirk is like, for us. And he says no for them, for the anomaly, because he has always visioned himself as somebody that never fit into any world. Even when he physically tried to drain his humanity to be able to fit into the world of Vulcan, it did not work. He could not do it. Yeah. And he always felt lost. And then he was dragged back onto the ship that he finally had gotten away from, finally broke, like he retired, he was away from his friends, like he was living his life that he thought he wanted to live, and he's dragged back now, and now they have to destroy this creature that he like really relates to, and he finally allows his like humanity to slip through. That was a very nice scene.
Yeah. Oh, and it really, you explaining that kind of explains why he was acting the way he was when he came back. Like he
didn't want to be dragged back into this. Exactly. He didn't have a choice. The way that Bones was like, I got drafted. You were requested?
Yeah, you were requested.
Spock was literally drafted.
Spock was drafted, if anybody.
Spock just went to his version of Nam, man.
Oh, Lord.
Any other favorite scene I have, honestly, is just, okay, I hate myself. I do.
Oh,
no. It's when Spock shows up on the ship, and again, he looks fine as hell, but Kirk didn't know that he was coming, so he like jumps out of his seat and he's like, Spock, and Spock shows no reaction to him.
Yep.
And he's like, Spock, like, say something, and he literally like looks to Decker, who is like, holy shit, it's friggin' like Commander Spock.
Yeah.
And he's just like, do you mind? Like, get the fuck out of my seat. He just starts working, and Kirk doesn't know what to do because he's so happy, and he has no emotion towards Ben. He's not like Spock's usual like no emotion. Like, there's emotion there, and it is not happy.
Yeah, that's literally me after I have a mental breakdown in the break room, and then I go back to work, and I'm just like, "Oh, hi, Ellen, nice to."
No.
Don't.
Were there any new additions that you enjoyed?
I did like the what's her name?
But I believe it is Lilia. I'm pretty, as I say that, I think it might have been Ilia, because I think it's Ilia. So again, I apologize for butchering her name. I don't mean to be a fake fan. The actress was wonderful. She was actually, I believe she was Miss Universe 1965, if I remember correctly.
Also, she
shaved her head. She shaved her full head.
Bald, so
I thought she was wearing a wig cap because
the whole time
the entire time I was just like, why would they make her like wear a wig cap? And then I realized that she shaved her head willingly, and like, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, she looked great.
She was beautiful. She was a gorgeous woman. Like, I understand why she was Miss Universe.
Yeah. That's kind of ironic, Miss Universe, and then in a Star Trek
that
movie.
Is funny.
Like,
and technically, due to the ending, she became one with the universe, so it made sense.
My. Ow.
Look at us go. Overall, would I recommend? Yeah. If I was telling Ellen, even before I fully understood the plot, if it was like on TV, I would let it play out. I would have I don't want to be like, oh, I would have pay attention. I'm like, no, I would pay attention when it was necessary to. Otherwise, I would let it play on in the background. When it got the last half hour was good. It was very good because then you got to see our boys doing their job. Like they were doing what they came to do. They were chewing bubblegum and kicking asses, and they were out of bubblegum.
They were out of bubblegum, indeed. Yes, I would personally recommend the movie to stoners. I just want to see people high on pot seeing this movie, whether you saw the show or not, and just being like, yo.
Would you recommend this movie to people who hadn't seen the show?
I mean, again, I feel like you have to be stoned to do that because like you said, if you haven't seen the show, you're not going to understand what the hell's going on.
You're not, or even more so like when you saw Janice, or when like they didn't introduce you, like they called her Commander Rand, and then when you saw Chapel, like they said Dr. Chapel, so you wouldn't know exactly who they were, but you would be able to pick up on it. And again, if you like sci-fi movies, you're gonna like this. It was overall, I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. I would say it's a 5 out of 10. I wish more happened, but I also understand that you're going from a reworked pilot script or reworked series script that had been reworked again and again and again, and characters pushed in, other characters pushed out, edited and edited and edited, where to the point where even the cast was like, we got paid, like there's nothing else. We love these characters, we came to refresh them, but like the script, they were saying at a 1978 conference about this movie that none of them were happy with. They're like, the script is not great, but we're here, we're back, take it as it is.
Exactly. It was clearly evident that they stuck through it because, again, they love the characters that they played. And also, I feel like it's like a fan service kind of thing.
100%.
Like, absolutely, which can be either great or terrible depending on circumstances. You know, I'm sure that there were worse franchises that went through something like this. I personally can't think of any right now, but I wouldn't be surprised.
There's worse things going on in this franchise currently.
There you go.
That eventually I'll get to.
There you go. There you go.
Strange New Worlds, man.
He sings.
Strange New Worlds.
And you're going to hear it one day. I'm going to make you hear it.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to pull a John Lennon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't
know you're mic'd, right?
Yes.
You didn't know that? Yeah, you knew that?
Ethan Peck. Count your days.
Feel free to come to Comic-Con. You're Comic-Con, Ethan Peck.
If he did come to Comic-Con, I would not be able to do it in the Star Trek cosplay. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be so embarrassed.
No,
like, I don't.
Hey everyone, this is Millennial from the future. Or the present. I don't know. 2 things before we continue this episode. Emilee and I did attend New York Comic Con in October of 2024. There's actually a picture right around here. It's us cosplaying as Bones and Spock from Star Trek. And for some reason, Ethan Peck did not meet us. In fact, we didn't know that Ethan Peck was going to be at New York Comic Con until we were on our way home from New York Comic Con. But it might have worked out because I think Emilee would have had a complete mental breakdown if we did see him up close and in person. Also, I think deep down he did not want us to know because of all the threats Emilee made in the previous clip. Enjoy that piece of information, and now back to the episode.
Want him to know I'm a fan.
Instead, you should go as the wacky
inflatable. No, I'll go as him from Passport to Paris.
Wait, no, the wacky thing, but with the beret.
With the beret.
I'm telling you, right? If y'all want to see top tier comedy, this woman went to New York Comic Con as the wacky inflatable tube man, and it was the funniest thing. I almost died. Okay, go.
Hello, my baby.
It was so great. In fact, someone came up to her and was like, my friend wants something like this at her funeral one day. Can I please film you? It's so just.
I was wacky, I was waving, I was inflatable.
And you were the tube woman.
And I was the tube man.
It was
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
A Star Trek motion picture. It's Star Trek, but at the
movies. It's a movie.
It's a movie now.
We got nothing but movies from this point on. So I don't think we can handle anything else.
Pray for me.
Hey, don't worry. You're getting to Chris Pine eventually. You know what the sad thing is? I'm really sorry about this, because she's not even going to be able to enjoy Chris Pine.
No, because you're going to be losing your shit over Zachary Quinto. Wait, I have a question.
Okay, hit me.
Okay. So, all the characters in the motion picture.
Oh, God.
Instead of the Starship Enterprise, they are at the
God.
Big Brother house. Including the new characters, too.
Oh, my God.
Who's the first one out?
Decker.
Yes, yes.
We know what you are, you freak.
We know what you did.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out. And then who's gonna win? There's only one right answer. There's no wrong answers, just really wrong answers.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yes, you do.
I just really
Yes,
want
you do.
Scotty to win, but I know you're gonna say Bones.
Thank you. Also, what? Because he looks like Mr.
Mr.
Belvedere.
Also, Bones would Bones would vote himself out because he wants to be. Oh wait, no, I have another one. The entire cast on Survivor.
Wait, the cast or the characters?
Characters.
Okay.
If it was a cast,
that would be a whole
William
different
Shatner
thing.
would be voted off day one.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Get out of here, dude!" Like,
What are you doing?
Sulu would like.
Oh my God, he would knock him off the podium.
Exactly, and be like, "Oh no, Bill
Oh
fell.
no, Bill fell.
Oh my,
Bill is drowning. That's terrible.
Someone should go help him."
I didn't say me.
I can't swim, so. DeForest, can you
DeForest, D, be a dear.
be a dear.
I don't know why we gave him such a posh British accent when he doesn't have one.
Because that's just what the vibe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Highly unorthodox. So
Highly
unorthodox.
unorthodox. This is all
over there.
unorthodox.
William Shatner over there. Twink Daddy right here. Spock Daddy over here. Bones Daddy right here. Please, bring him here.
That is a DQ.
That is DQ.
So I think that's it for this one.
Yes.
I'm not going to. I can't rank them. I said before that it's like a 5 out of 10. I can't rank them between 1 through 6 because we haven't seen them.
Yes.
But right now I'm going to, and we can adjust this of course. I'm going to put this as a 5.
It's going to be
5,
at the bottom
because
for
it's
me
going to be
right
it's
now.
going to be in the bottom. But
It
again, I
is.
haven't seen the others, so I can't really properly rank it. But it's right now. It's on the podium.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
take it away, Penny.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
For now, this has been Emilee.
And Ellen. And remember to thank your local fangirl, because the thing that you like that's popular, it's because
of her. Bye.
And pose.
We can't stop, and we won't stuff. Don't you know that we are proud of our lives, even though you might think we're wasting our time? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. The moment that comes out, sure, Jan.